SRG, the only win that they got against Team Liquid Philippines in the grand finals then. Let's see if it is actually a panda-sized hole that is the problem of Aurora, and it's enough with an Akai to plug it. They have their Harith, they have their Sicilian, back to comforts. Edward needs to be on point with his entries alongside Light on the Gatot Kacha.
There's a big problem about that, Renmar. This is not Embassy 2025. We are thousands of miles away from Riyadh, almost 6 months removed from a said event, and even if, guess who won that damn big tournament?
Well, we all know who that was. And it's crazy to think that, again, for how many times have we seen the gold lane change in the season, and especially here in the playoffs, and all we've seen today is Granger and Harith.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to these two gold laners, those are the top picks for both of them. The most synonymous with their MPL Philippines Season 16 versions. Lots of tough boots across the board because of all the crowd control that both lineups had. Lo Yi has had a terrible MPL Philippines Season 16. That is the one thing that Aurora is banking on. One of the few things that they can bank on here, and that Liquid need to change their narrative around that hero. Let's see once we are in the turtle fights, if the heavy spin is enough to mess up with Carl Tizzy's retreat game.
Oh, JP pressing load game on all of the previous wins that he had into this best of 7, just on Light's face. Yua too getting managed. Turtle down to a 1/5 of its health. Heavy spin by Demon Kite, pinning down 40.
Oh!
Sanji takes down the smiling demon as Carl takes the turtle. Sanford falls. Rated out for once more. Double kill for the chef.
Not the start you want to have. Could have been significantly cleaner. Aurora are gonna regret fighting that first turtle like that. But Aurora are still in this. Domikai's been controlling Oheb in lane. Sanji's appearance here is one of the few times that Domikai's been able to show up. But now with Oheb, with a level gap, able to balance things out towards his favor.
And this is the thing here too, JP, someone's got to control JP from Aurora, man. He's been having a hell of a time, probably one of his best series so far in his career against Aurora, game to game to game to game, and it's causing too much havoc on Demon Kite to even have this kind of jungler that we're used to seeing for Demon Kite.
Yeah, it was Sanford who was able to get this. Oh, AOG, oh, Light misses.
That's it. Oheb flickers out, Sanji too. Close call, but Liquid will do anything to be able to keep this 1,000 gold lead.
I'm seeing a lot of desperation from Aurora from the first 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Look, JP and Sanford, they're not letting this guy farm comfortably at all. This has been the toughest series Demon Kite has ever played all season long.
That's what I said. I think maybe what they found out, one of the weak points here for Aurora to deal with that dominant gameplay we've seen all season from them is to put unbelievable pressure on Demon Kite. Again, throughout the series, he has not been able to position himself to even contest the objectives the way that he wants, or the way we're used to seeing Demon Kite.
Oh my God. Light got JP on him and called easy. He goes down. Light takes a nap.
Massive disconnect. I was surprised that it was that bush that Light was holding at that point. Just hold lower bottom mid, or in his perspective, it's upper mid.
Oh. Brave Spider by 40, delaying Edward the retreat. I think he wanted to respond somewhere. Oh no, it's Sansan right on Edward. They send themselves down bottom, rotating towards the turtle. Big fight already. Salmon Force dropped by Domikite. Liquid pushes them out of that favorable position as Liquid takes 2 for 2.
A good use of the diversion to come help secure that second turtle. But now look at this, they're gonna put pressure on the purple.
Red Death Purple right in DK's face. Carl TZ is a menace.
He did not commit the turtle. He slowly used his abilities and basic attacks to take it down. Walked up, retribution away. And now the clock is starting to strike midnight, getting closer and closer to the story of Aurora ending with heartbreak.
Edward gets hit with an Abraser's Wrath, survives with about 10 HP, forcing Light to revitalize.
Aurora's in that position now where, oh, hold on, Domikite should be okay, but and JP again just being a nuisance all over the place. Rora's in the position where they have to support Demon Kite or at least find a win somewhere else.
Joseph, do you hear how ridiculous that sounds?
It does.
Support the Akai?
He needs help.
I need so much more help. Aurora hasn't changed their game plan all series long. Instead of focusing on making sure that Demon Kite is comfortable, Demon Kite can get farmed, that the center of the map is good, they've been changing their focuses, putting a lot more focus on the Demon Kite, not putting enough focus on the Edward as well, and Demon Kite is suffering.
I mean, look at this. They're centered around Demon Kite right now, too, as he falls further behind Carl Teasy. Diversion trip to the mid lane. Again, what can Rora do from this point? Who do they go for? Who do they bank on? Is it just Demon Kite on the Hereth?
Light intercepting on Carl. Sanford taps on Demon Kite, forcing that defensive heavy spin. Bravest Fighter already keeping back the Apex Predator. Oh no, Demon Kite's not gonna taste his purple once more.
They're moving way too fast. Purple still goes to Carl TZ. Every angle, every entry point blocked off. Every member man-to-man zoned.
Oh, under the turret, in between it they go. Light's gonna be in trouble again. He's so low.
Carl TZ with the Appraiser's Rack 7-4 drop by Demon Kite. The flicker from Sanji, backing out. Push in mid, tier 1 down.
JP sees the low health bar on Demon Kite, and he's like, you know what? No, I won't risk it yet. We don't have that 6-7K gold that we usually have.
6-7. You know what else is funny? The fact that JP stood there and showed him, yeah, I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
That must be some mental damage dealt to Demon Kite's game.
From the walkouts to what they're doing during the game, from walking out from the playing area to back to their huddle areas, it seems like that's been the story. Liquid have just been living rent-free in Rora's heads. Rora have not played their game all series long. Rora have looked uncomfortable all series long. And now Liquid, it's their series to lose, their game to lose. Glowing Wand locked in for the Sicilian, but still, the lead is too far.
This makes sense because a lot of us forgot throughout Season 16, this is their house. This is where Stallions live and run free. They are the defending champions, and they are bullying Aurora since game 1. Heavy spin, they isolate the GOAT. Carl TZ sent underneath, tier 3 down bottom. That's a kill for Aurora.
There we go, that's something Rora needed.
Right with an AOG. Intercepted by JP and Sanji. They lay down a smackdown on the Light. Bravest Fighter under the Gakacha. Hey, take him down, serving up a kill to Oheb.
All part of the plan, I guess, for TLPH. Maybe Carl TZ wasn't supposed to be heavy spun into a turret, but TL still gets something, and it's still on the purple.
They don't even have the retribution, they just have the man advantage, and they still get it, and it's on the Granger of all people.
Kill 1 is a different beast. The day he woke up, and he chose to be greater than ever. He chose to show the world, hey, I am the M3 MVP. I am a 3-time champion. Now he's looking to be a 4-time champion.
This has to be heartbreaking for the Roras. It was Rora that had the most clear, coded intention of the season. Champions. That's it. No looking towards M7. Just get the championship. Finally win that chip for the org. They missed out on it in 14. Didn't even make it to the grand finals in 15. But now they are on the brink of just getting trampled by the hooves of Liquid.
Juxtaposed to Liquid, who clearly said in their post-match interview last night, we're looking at M7. What is this? Another day in the office?
I think it is just another day here for Team Liquid, as it's another objective that's going to be going in the hands of Carl TZ. Rora isn't even close to this. They're huddled around the tier 2 turret, trying to think of a plan on how to get this game under control.
Joseph, is this a turquoise ube? They're really just stuck together.
They're stuck, man. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. Rora, I think even for themselves, the Stampede, for some reason, has just completely whiplashed them throughout this series, 4 games in a row.
And leading the charge is JP. Oh, diversion.
Oh, they're there! They bait out a heavy spin from Demon Kite, who was just doing this darkness to get his own purple, and he gets the 9 again.
This is not a series at all for Demon Kite. Can't even touch his buffs. They have to watch the tier 2 turret fall. That Lord making its way down the bottom. Aurora needs so much more time to make this composition shine, and it's just not happening here.
In a season where the defending world champions, Onyx Philippines, admitted they've forgotten who they are, Liquid are reminding the world who the hell they are right now. Closer and closer to immortality yet again.
Edward gets defended down bottom. In
Light.
comes Edward. Light with the intercept to the back line.
Oh.
Salmon Force dropped in. Light falls. Oheb gets another one.
Oh.
Snaps.
Oh.
Oheb goes down. Newer gets a kill. Edward barely alive. Cartesi goes down. Massive trade. Big win for Aurora. 2 for 1. Sanji gonna bite it 2. Make it 3.
A big trade for Aurora. They lost the base turret, but Team Liquid has done this time and time again. That first Lord 5K ahead, they go into the base anyway.
Now that was Aurora's fault. That was Edward and Light with the link up, the flank, the gank, the set, and Demon Kite getting the heavy spin to make sure that they could even get a kill onto Sanji. Now we've got ourselves a game. This is now within Light's reach.
Let's take a look at the replay, exactly what happened. Again, Edward jumps in, Light comes from the back. They do get overloaded with damage, but they force it, all this under the turret. So even when Carl goes down, Edward gets away with a sliver of health.
Joseph, that is the magic keywords. Under the turret.
Under the turret. It's happened many times.
So that means that wouldn't have happened elsewhere on the map.
Yeah.
Aurora has to thank their lucky stars. Liquid were willing to overcommit.
You asked if this is a turquoise-coded Ube. One of the greatest strengths of Ube back in the heyday was making comebacks through moments like these. Being able to come back just when you thought they'd lose one sequence or turn it around. There is still a significant lead that they have to chip away at. Cartesi with the Athena Shield, Dominance Ice, didn't full build into the anti-Cuirass, but Oheb still has a significant lead over Dominkai. Good thing for them is now, though, it's 12 minutes in, then yeah, they already have the Holy Crystal on the Harith and a Divine Glaive as well for the Sicilian. So this is within comeback reach, and Liquid cannot overheat.
They can't overheat. Aurora, how are they even in a position to want to contest this?
For the first time in 12 minutes, yes. They're trying.
JP.
What a dance. JP taking that flank. Aurora have eyes on him. I'm pretty sure someone saw. JP comes in. Eyes on UF, forcing that bash face. Lord at a tenth of its health. Cartesi trying to keep it up. And then AOG on Light. Lord still standing. Demon Kite secures after a heavy spin tango. And Cartesi goes down. Demon Kite finds him. Demon Kite falls. 1 for 1 trade.
He's gone. The diversion's going to be used.
Oh,
They conceal to get out of there. They have to get out, but Demon Kite got the Lord. They go back.
Salmon Force by Demon Kite, pushing Oheb out. Now the next target, gonna be Sporty. The Apex Predator gets 3. In comes Oheb. Daddy JP to the rescue.
The Edward's going to miss. And Oheb's still firing off the back.
JP finds Demon Kite. Edward gets taken out by his former brother Oheb. Now it's just you and Light left.
What are they going to do? They have to deal with the Lord here. Light and UA will be able to clear out the minions, so it's going to be just that. Lord buys them time for Aurora to stay in the game.
This is the most exciting the series has been all grand finals long. Liquid do not have the iron grip as they did. Aurora finding clapbacks. The heavy spin perfect. Demon Kite getting the retry, but it was Liquid with the counter punish yet again. They can't afford to do that because of the lead. And who was it that showed up right at the nick of time to turn things around? It was the Hilda running up to Aurora, but Aurora are still in this, and Liquid must not rest on their laurels and their lead.
So 2 warning shots now to the cavalry. Hey, you slipped up once inside the base. Even outside the base, Aurora can clap back. I'm looking at Daddy JP's items. He's got to build that bolt, man.
He's got to get the ball, do a little damage. The Blade of Hephaestus might be able to help him do that, but
finish the job. I think that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Dominic died earlier.
Yep.
Then maybe the exchange would have been better for Liquid.
It might have been.
Yeah, he was single-handedly zoning out Yue again.
Yeah.
Which is why it felt like a long time for we were wondering where the hell's the Sicilian? Where's all the effects of the Sicilian spells? And it didn't happen up until JP finally showed up, and then Yue could finally join in.
At this point, though, Aurora has accomplished one thing, that's time. Again, we talked about this when the Sicilian was picked up earlier on by UA, and that's what he needs to get the stacks.
They bought time.
They did buy time, and he just got a clock of destiny for more time. So now at this point, Aurora is in an actual position of contention for the next Lord. That's really what the focus is going to be here.
Yep.
Unless TLPH, mind you, we haven't seen the Luoyi pop up too much, but now that you have that, you can play at a macro level, and they're still going to put pressure on the purple buff of Demon Kite. But he will go ahead, and it looks like he doesn't get it.
Yep.
He hasn't had majority of his buffs, but I'll tell you what, the last fight for the Lord is why we saw what an Akai can bring to these objectives. If the team is able to capitalize on that and Demon Kite can get that space with a heavy spin, he can secure it. And every Lord that's secured from this point is a big win for Aurora.
Aurora has had immaculate minion wave control all season long, and they have to keep that up. The lack of the turret in the bottom lane, the lack of good health on the turret in the mid lane, and they're up against Liquid's Luoyi, Sanji's Luoyi. How heartbreaking would it be if, despite everything that they've done in this game, it's the signature Liquid backdoor?
Oh man, Demon Kite taking a ton of damage, already at half health.
I'm looking at Dominica. He flushes Daddy JP out, and that is a huge threat. Maybe even worse than a split push.
JP goes mid, bottom. He wants to go ahead and push that turret in so that UA has to respond.
Yeah. He's just hitting the siege minion. He's not full clearing it, allowing the minions to slowly finish the job so he can rejoin.
Half health on this Lord here. Demon Kite, he's going to have to make a play.
Sanford on him. Oh, Hep comes in close. Raven Spider coming in. Demon Kite still secures the Lord. Is that one forced by Dominic Kite? That's not a fight that they want to take. OG light out of here. Lava Base going to be up next. Oh my God. The Golden Road beckons. Stampede complete. The cavalry goes back to back.
What a play! Team Liquid Philippines are your MPL Season 16 champions!
Doubts answered with an undeniable reality that crushes the brightest of dreams. Team Liquid are better than you. Team Liquid are on the Golden Stampede. Team Liquid are undisputed!
It runs in their blood. They've done this over and over again. From Jakarta to Malaysia to Cambodia, a backdoor win by Liquid.
I posed the possibility. I didn't expect it would actually happen. I already said it leading up to that Lord.
I said as well, the Luoyi is a macro play. And they just brought the cavalry down there. We talked about managing that wave. And they used it to their advantage to win the championship.
The story continues for Aurora. Tonight ends in heartbreak and tears. All the hard work that they did in the regular season. Reminding them whose house this is. This is Liquid's.
Again, it's been amazing to be with you guys joining around the world. Season 16 has been a treat. It's been us, the Wee Bear Bros, me, Leo, and Renmar to bring you the action. Let's throw it over on stage to hear for our winners.